All right, let's do this. So, good morning, everyone. I hope you had a great day yesterday. Was not able to make it, and that will be the same thing today. Uh, we're doing this session, and then I will be away for the day. But again, I will try to make a small update before the close, and if there's anything to call trade wise, I will do it in the trade channel. And otherwise, if there's anything to do at the end of the day, then obviously I will update as well. Um, I also introduced a new rule um, 2 days ago. That's something that I want to try. I don't know yet if I will carry that long term, but that's something that I want to adjust at least short to midterm. It's one to use. The screen is already shared. Let me know if there's a problem, but it's supposed to be. All good, perfect. Maybe there was a small delay. I just did it just before you typed it. Uh, all right, so yeah, two new rules that I wanted to introduce, and uh, I'm still green on the year. But to be honest, that's all because of SNDK and WDC, so the memory trade. And apart from that, there was a lot of losses, a lot of chop, and just looking at my stats. So I went back 2 years, the last 2 years, and especially last year because last year I was using soft stop loss all year. Uh, and last year was a market that was rewarding this soft stop loss and waiting a bit for the shakeout below the structure before taking a decision at the end of the day, right? Uh, but what is happening in the last few weeks, sorry, to start the year, um, is that my average R loss is growing a lot, and I'm above 1 R loss average. So it means that on all the losses that I took in the first weeks of 2026, uh, I I did so take my loss beyond my stop loss, and that never happened. Last year was, I think I was at like zero point 0.4 or zero point 0.5 R average loss, and right now I'm like at 1.3 or 1.4, so that's huge. So the first rule that I integrated that I want to use now is using a hard stop loss. Uh, I know I was a huge defender of using soft stop loss, but you have to adapt. And right now, the feedback that the market is giving me is this is not rewarded anymore, at least short term. Uh, so I want to do that with new exposure. Uh, what I'm thinking right now, and I don't want to choke my runners, I don't want to choke my new exposure as they gain a bit of traction. So what I'm thinking is simply putting the hard stop loss at my initial stop loss level and not moving it. So the goal of this is simply to protect my 1R loss and nothing else. The rest remains the same. Uh, so that's the first thing that I want to integrate to my trading short term. And the other thing is waiting at the end of the day. So the market, whatever you want to see it. So it's either a topping pattern uh, since October and even before that. So September, October was a very small trend, but before that we had chop as well. So really since July, we've been in a pretty rough market. September, October were good. So let's crash that. But let's say since October, that's a rough market. Uh, and the market likes to open strong, fade, show strength, fade, a lot of chop. So I'm trying to wait at the end of the day, not only for my adjustment of exposure, closing my trades, but also for opening new trades. So just waiting a bit of confirmation, waiting the end of the day where it matters most, uh, being even more patient during the day. And if there's a stop loss getting it, then that will be it. But for new buys, I want to wait at the end of the day. So it brings me to my last point. And I made a I made a poll 2 days ago, I think. Um, and what I would do starting from next week is to do those market session uh, later in the day, just before the close. So let's say around 3 o'clock, 1 hour before the close, we do this kind of session where we review the market action during the day. We form a good game plan for the close. What I'm expecting to do. So, do I plan to, I don't know, trim exposure, reduce my risk, add a new position? So, the goal is really to have the most information possible to have those sessions because as I will do most of my trading at the end of the day, doing those pre-market session does lack a lot of information for me to explain my game plan and what I plan to do during the day at the end of the day, right? So that will be the goal. Let's try this next week. Uh, if you guys absolutely hate that, then we'll see how we can work around that. But um, yeah, let's try this next week. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I think it makes more sense to provide a proper game plan with all the information that we need to do so. All right. So that was the introduction, two new rules, change of schedule for that pre-market session that will become next week, late session late session call. So yeah, starting next week on Monday. So Paro is asking, with this kind of chop, are you open to cut position before they hit your stop if they don't show the positive action you were expecting, or you much rather wait? Yeah, exactly. I assume you won't do anything. Exactly. So for me, what I found to work best in chop is just being patient, have good entries, and let the chop play out. And the stop is there to give you that feedback that it doesn't work. But yeah, I'd rather wait. Yeah, from PMS to LMS. Exactly. All right, so let's review the market, guys, before the market open. And obviously, like I said, a lot of information is lacking to explain exactly what I will do at the end of the day, but uh, that will still give you good information. All right. So yesterday, so the day prior yesterday, we had that bounce, that reclaim of the 21 day structure. That was very constructive. Yesterday, kind of not an inside day because it was outside of range, but we that was not a strong follow through. All right, that was pretty weak, and the day started very strong again. Another gap up, big strength at the open that was faded. So that's the market we're in, and we're sitting right at the top of that big base. So we might expect some shakeout, some chop, but we remain in that higher low structure. So we bottom on November 20th, and then what are we doing? Higher low, higher low, higher low. Look at the slope of the 21 day structure. So if I go short here, so yeah, we're right into supply. You can be right. But if you're a long focused trader, maybe now is not the best time to add exposure. And that's why I didn't had yesterday, right? QQQE is sorry, I have to activate the ETFs. Uh, so yeah, we're right at 1 time ATR from the 21 DMA. So the index itself is a bit extended. Yeah, you can run, but that's usually not the best time to buy. I like to buy below 1 time ATR from the 21 DMA structure, and that's true for the index as well. All right. Uh, so not the best risk reward. Looks like the market might open red a bit, so that might offer that shakeout, that back test. So every time that we have a reclaim, especially when we run right into a base or a range structure, then you can expect the back test. That wouldn't be bad, that would be constructive, but we need to hold that structure on the back test, right? So if we fail, if we reject those highs and we start to slide and cut below the 21 day structure, then that new uptrend attempt will become very, very shaky, and that will be a reason to maybe adjust risk at the end of the day. Um, so yeah, price wise, high level, we remain in that multi-month base. There's nothing changed there. The good news that appeared yesterday, and we'll need to see if we follow through on that. But we had the first hookup on the McClellan summation since we flipped down on December 30, yeah. So since then, we were all in contraction of breadth, all right? And that's why the market was not easy, it was very choppy. Now, can this hookup be confirmed today? Can we follow through on that and kind of resume that uptrend that was started in November? So November to year end, we had that rally, good breadth. Now, since the start of the year, contraction of breadth, can we make a higher low on the McClellan and resume that uptrend? That's the good scenario, all right? So if everything's goes all right, that could be what we see. But yeah, so basically since December 30, we had the TLMM model on pullback. And yesterday, with that flip of breadth and with price above the 21 EMA, we are on an uptrend attempt. All right. So can we confirm the uptrend? We'll have to see if we reclaim the 10 DMA on the McClellan summation, because right now we're still below that declining moving average. And that's why it's only an uptrend attempt and not confirmed yet. And yeah, breadth extension not overbought that by any means, so we'll have to see if we follow through on that today. Credit spreads still well below declining moving average. The only thing that I'm watching is these things like to put double bottom, and yes, we are very extended from the structure itself. So when I talked about maybe the back test of the structure today or early next week, maybe we need to stress test a bit to back test and look where we are. We are retesting the September low on the credit spreads, And that's kind of the same picture, right? So spike into declining structure, rejection, new low. We're right at the same place after the same type of action. All right, so I'm not saying that we will kind of pull back like that, but maybe we just need to spike a bit, create some space on the credit spreads, be less extended, and then we can continue to trend lower below that declining 21-day mid structure. Uh, and yeah, again, nothing overbought, nothing oversold anymore after that hookup on MCO. All right, so let's review the portfolio. All right. So, everyone want to short SNDK now? It's like now the bad boy parabolic short. It's the new short target. If you tried to short silver and it didn't work, now you have to try to short SNDK. All right, so I think it's funny because um, if we look at the log chart, obviously it's if you look at linear chart, yeah, obviously it looks like super extended and all that, but when you trade growth stock with like 9% ATR, please use log chart, all right? And not saying that we will repeat the same last year trend, but if we look at things, we are potentially very, very early in a bigger uptrend. So use log charts and trust the structure. That's what I'm doing with SNDK. Not trying to overthink, not trying to be smarter than the market or being smarter than all my friends on X as well. My job is not to be smart. My job is to be dumb enough to follow price and follow structure without overthinking it. All right, that's my goal. And if I can just trail the 21-day structure and put me in the position to catch a really, really big winner, that's what I want to do. All right. And it pays off. That's a change that I made recently, keeping a bit more size on my runners. And let me tell you something. If I didn't have that size now in SNDK and WDC, I would be red year to date. And now I'm green just because of those two trades, just because that I only trim 1/3 and not 2/3 like I would have done before. All right, so I like that new approach of keeping more size on my cores. They didn't give me a chance to rehab and be a bit more heavy, but I like the size that they have, and now that SNDK basically double from my entry, that runner and that core is now almost 12% and growing in size compared to my account. Okay, Iron 21 DME structure tap. Uh, it's digesting. It's basing above a rising 21 DME structure. I'm on my runner. As long as the 21 DME structure holds, I will be in that trade. CVNA did really well yesterday. 5% move. Nice strong move of the right side after that higher low and that reclaim and backtest setup. Um, we might be able to de-risk that today. That would be nice. I think my 2R is just above at 485-ish. So right around that high. So if we retest that high, I will be able to trim 1/3, de-risk that trade, and become a core runner. Core was rejected in at the most recent swing high. That's okay. Let it base. We might need to backtest to shake out a bit, continue to build that right side. I'm all good with it. Um, VRT, we were able to de-risk that on that pop yesterday at the open. Now, just trying to be patient and trailing the 21 DME structure. We are pretty early in that VRT chart as well, so don't expect that to do like a SNDK move. It looks more like the shaping of a cup right now. So maybe we'll need to work it out a bit choppy on the right side and then form the handle. But yeah, I want to be patient now that I de-risk that. Oh, maybe my phone was just before the microphone. Is it all good? Maybe let me check. Yeah, no, the sound is hitting almost the red part in OBS Studio, so it should be pretty strong on my side. Okay, great. So let's continue, guys. Um, NBIS, maybe the one in danger. That was a nice back test. Yesterday was pretty weak. We closed back below the 21 EMA. Looks like it's going to open weak. So let's see. My stop loss is there to stop me out if in case we shake out. I don't want to take the risk of having a 1 hour plus loss on that. So I will take my loss on that if it open weeks. Rocket inside day. Uh, there's a play here. There's potentially a trade. Um, but yeah, um, I want to see that a bit more tight on the right side. That was a big pullback in 3 days right into the 21 DMA structure. I don't like to buy after such a move. So let's see how it can tighten up and if we can have a good entry. And A-Lab, still the same thing as VRT, trying to form the right side of that cup. We're building higher lows. We're back testing the 21 DMA structure. Inside day yesterday, we held the 21 EMA. So there's a trade also in A-Lab. So if we go into the focus list now, that's basically the two names that I have, A-Lab and Rocket Lab. So Rocket Lab on weakness. Ideally, if we have an inside day on Rocket Lab today, I will look to take a trade at the end of the day. That's probably the biggest focus for me because I'm already in A-Lab, is to try to get an entry in Rocket Lab. But last 2 days closed strong, especially yesterday with that bad news. It was bought aggressively at the 21 EMA. And now today I will watch at the end of the day if it closed with an inside day or some weak action at the top of the 21 DME structure. I will look to add this position to my portfolio. Yeah, live wires. I didn't change a thing to be honest. So I'm still in 1440p, so highest quality of Discord. So it's probably on your server side or something like that. And when I watch on YouTube as well, it's super clear and in full HD. Um, so yeah, I don't know what to do or say about that. Okay, so I was referring to NBIS when I asked the question today. I agree that it looks weak at the minute and headed for the stop loss. I have a position as well. I'm glad to see you agree that it looks weak. Yeah, obviously, it was it was not it was not acting good yesterday, but that's where trusting the structure comes into play, right? So sometimes you close weak and you suddenly find buyers. So let's take that example, and that's very much like we have right now. Big downtrend, reclaim, backtest, higher low, and look on that day. It was looking very, very weak. And the next day, super strong, daily reversal, reclaim of the full structure, and then it goes. All right, that's almost the same thing. A bit more volatile, but almost the same action. So I want to see the action today. All right. So structure is still rising. We're still in that backtest action. Yes, there's a weak close, but it doesn't mean that the trend structure is broken. All right? I will take my loss where my stop loss is, just because I have to respect my R and my and have to manage my risk. All right? That's my job. But it doesn't mean that it's broken. All right? Maybe it just need to shake out and reset up again. But that chart is not broken. We're still trying to work that right side of the cup. So I hope it's clear. That's not a bad chart just because it closed weak for a day. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not buying the gap down into a structure. I want to see buyers stepping in, controlling the action, volatility to contract. I don't like to buy into price discovery on the downside, and it's way too much volatile. So no, that doesn't make sense for me to buy a gap down like ENTC today. It's gapping what, like 12%, something like that. Yeah, around 12%. So no, that's not the type of trade that I'm interested in. Yeah, BE will be, and I don't have to think about it, guys. That's the beauty of having my scan tailored to exactly what I want to see, right? So B is our leader. B will be in my focus list and in my pullback scan. Once it gets into a proper buy area around the 21 DMA structure. All right? That's always the same thing. I want to buy here. I want to buy here. I want to buy here. All right? I want to buy here, 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 here. And then ideally catch that move. All right? Yeah, I'm a slave to my scanner and my system. And that's the goal. That's the goal. If you don't have rules and if you don't have system, I can guarantee you that you will have a hard time to become a long-term successful trader. And there's a couple leaders that will become very interesting if we pull back. So SATS, Micron is gone, ACML, um, BE, we talked about it. Yeah, it will be in my scan. That's in my universe. TER, AMD wants it back test. So there's no back test yet. Yeah, there was one, uh, early one. ENTC, that gap down might be an opportunity as it will find and digest that gap down. LRCX, Rocket Lab, we discussed about that. ASTS, APH. There's a few names that if they pull back. Oh, L3 Aris, I didn't see that in defense. LMT, defense is on fire. But yeah, there will be a couple names. ONS, why ONS is not in the scan? And the goal is not to, I know I talked about it, and you're just curious, right? But it's important not, okay, you build a scan with the knowledge that you want to be in the top probability setups, all right? And then you have to trust your scan, all right? You cannot take XYZ name left and right, ideas left and right, and say, oh, why doesn't fit my scanner or my screen? At first you can do that, obviously, when you learn and you try to refine your scan. But at some point you really have to trust your scan, uh, and ignore the rest. There will always be opportunity and setup outside of your scan, all right? That's normal. And the goal of a scan and a screener is not to catch everything. It's to catch what fits your system and what fits your criterias, and giving you the best opportunity possible. Not trying to catch them all right? So when you try to focus, then automatically you remove some opportunity, all right? And you accept and you make the trade-off. Then by focusing, you will miss some. That's part of the game, and that's something that you missed, that you must accept. All right, so ons, um, I think it's the market cap for me. So yeah, it's a very strong name. I think I have a cap of 10 billion in my scan, and that's probably why. Yeah, 10 billion market cap. Well, so that's the reason. Oh, there you go. You already found it before me. So yeah, that's the reason. RMBS. What's the question, Patrick, for RMBS? That's so fucking extended. That's 3 times ATR from the 21 EMA. If you play like episodic pivot or something like that, maybe. But I like to buy around the 21 DMA structure. It's far, far, far away. It's not a place to buy. It's like if you are buying in here. Okay. So in that case, please expand your explanation, because when you say RMBS with a question mark, it seems like it's asking if it's good for entry. But yeah, that's one to keep close for a pullback, obviously. No problem. So Amazon. So Amazon is living below 21 day structure. Yeah, so Amazon is backtesting the gap, backtesting in the declining 21 day structure. So that's not the spot to engage. All right, it's like you were buying here. Okay, buying here. I don't want to buy there. I want to buy on the backtest. All right, so I was buying here. Reclaim backtest. I caught that move. Unfortunately, got stopped out, but that's part of the game. Same thing for Tesla. Yeah, Tesla looks interesting. I don't like to buy the reclaim after a low has been made. I want to see either tight action, all right? So a bit like here. So that's more of a reclaim that I would buy simply because we had 3 tight days to digest the move from the lows. Like this didn't work, obviously, but that's the kind of action that I want to see after a low was made. All right. Uh, and if it continues to show strength and just go higher from here, then I'm interested in the back test. All right. APLD. Oh yeah, it looks good. It looks very good. So big base. You have kind of that. I already I learned about those. How they call it? I don't remember the name, but there's a chart pattern uh, in there. So that double bottom, and then that's almost kind of a cup and handle. So you have your handle on the right side. That's the reclaim and back test. So you can play the daily reversal, but I think it will be high a bit from the 21 day structure. But yeah, overall that's a good pattern. Dawkins Digital Ocean. Yeah, it's past an entry for me. Good entry would have been the day before, as it were forming a higher low right in the 21 dB structure. That's where I went to buy. All right, not up there, right into the recent swing high, right into supply. That's not a place to buy. I tried to take the range break above the 21 DMA on AEO yesterday, but looking at it, is the range below? Yeah, that's a bit the same thing. You are trying to reclaim after already 2 strong days. So that's not what I like to buy. So having a reclaim after some type of action like that, where it's like buying here, right? So higher low is made, but you run right into a declining structure with strength. I don't like to buy on strength into a declining. I want to see that higher low and go into my git book. I explained that playbook or of constructive action below the 21 day structure as we try to form another higher low, and then we have strength after weakness as we didn't confirm the rejection, and we have good information now because it formed another higher low. The buyer stepped in on that rejection attempt, but it failed, and now they have reclaimed the entire structure. And even better, or you can add, is to go for the back test in here. All right. Uh, but yeah, look to play the reclaim after some tight action and not going right after 2 days of strength. So I hope it explained a bit like what I'm looking. Oh, so APLD is gapping down. So yeah, it will become much more interesting then. Look maybe for some kind of undercut and rally of Wednesday's low around the 21 EMA as well. Maybe we shake out and reclaim of the 21 EMA could be a good spot to engage. Uh, but yeah, the overall basing and chart structure is there. So it's just a question to see if the buyers show up or not. Yeah, I saw that. Even QBTS was looking good for a potential reclaim. Inside day, right into that swing low. That's a group that I will be watching next week. Um, you mentioned QT. So QT is having still that back test inside day. I think yesterday it's a bit too high on RS rank for me. It's too lagging. Uh, the 10 week is probably declining as well. Oh no, it started to rise. The daily as well. So yeah, it's just about the RS for me. But yeah, inside day yesterday, you can play yesterday's high, pivot, reclaim for a daily reversal, full reclaim of the structure. That's a pretty good setup actually. And you also have Ionic. Uh, Same thing. Inside day, right into the structure, you can play yesterday's high, pivot for an entry. That's a pretty neat setup and kind of across the group, right? So you have Ionic, QT, QBTS, let's see, RGTI. So yeah, same thing for RGTI. Tight inside day, right into structure. You can play today's high. Uh, so I think there's maybe a trade today, even today in the quantums. All right, guys. So I think we'll wrap this up right here. So again, I think session to be patient. We have constructive sign with the McClellan summation hookup. Price is above the 21 DME structure, rising 21 DME structure, but we are right into supply area. All right, so we are sitting right below that multi-month base kind of supply area, the top of that base. Um, so maybe shakeout. I don't know. Ideally, that's the breakout, but I don't want to expect the breakout right away. That would put me in a bad mindset, expecting something of the market. Sorry, but if I zoom in the very short term, that's what I said. Price above a rising 21 DMA structure, McClellan summation, first hookup and expansion of breadth or an attempt to since the end of 2025. So we can be cautiously optimistic, let's put it that way, and see if we can break out. All right. Uh, and for that, I will trust my positions, trust the structure of my positions, and my stop loss for my newest trades. All right, so that's all I can do. Just take the exposure in the liquid leaders at their 21 DMA structure in sound good, constructive setups, and just see what the market will do, what it will confirm, and if the buyers are stepping in to break out that big base. All right. So have a good one, everyone. Again, I will be away today. Um, but if there's anything to update, I will do. Otherwise, I wish everyone a very good weekend. Recharge. I think that we'll need it next week. All right. So cheers and enjoy, everyone. Bye bye.